Hey peeps, how's it going? Happy Easter. Get it, peeps? Easter? Anyway, wanted to wish everyone in the YouTube modeling community a happy Easter. I hope everybody has a happy and healthy one. Hope the weather cooperates for you. Our forecast is for days of rain, so it's not going to, won't be wearing our Easter bonnets out there. And at the, sort of Easter and Christmas, you think of those who are ill and those who have left us. And I just wanted to take a few moments to think of those who are ill or have been ill. Our thoughts go out to Gary Ruby. I understand he's home now and doing well, but thoughts to him. Thoughts to young model master who's also home from the hospital. I hope hope you're doing better. And of course, thoughts to Chris at Classic Plastic 101. Yeah, we do have. I teased this last time during the last toss of Sprue, but I didn't actually show it because I didn't know how much Chris knew about the whole thing. So proud to have this mug and to help support our friend Chris during this difficult time. So we have those people in our thoughts and prayers during the Easter season. And I also wanted to mention those who have, from the modeling community in general, who have passed on. That includes Harry Pristovnik that Dr. Cranky mentioned. Harry was primarily responsible for the layout of Model Cars magazine. He did Dr. Cranky's books, Rat Rods and Rust. I think that's what it was called, Dr. Cranky's book, as well as a lot of other projects for Dr. Cranky. Harry had his own books. If you go to Amazon.ca, put in Harry Pristovnik, you'll find a few books come up in his name. There's one he did, sort of a timeline of automobiles based on the models he built. And Harry was a great model builder. He built primarily large-scale 1/16 classic cars and whatnot. If you go to the Model Cars forum and look up his name and the stuff he built, it was he did great work. He was a great asset to the model building community, especially the model car building community. And it's a real shame that that he's passed on. Unfortunately, Harry was diagnosed with cancer. And in the process of treatment, they gave him a drug that actually severely damaged his heart. So they got him off that, and then another treatment. But I mean, everything altogether, it took its toll. So our thoughts to his family and friends on his passing. Also, there's a gentleman that some of you may know named Daryl Peters. He ran an aftermarket company called Scale Auto Detail. He passed on 2 weeks ago, I think it is, and so our thoughts to his family and friends as well. And there was a third gentleman, and I've been going through the forums trying to find the name, and I can't find it now, and I'm kicking myself for not writing it down early. But just please keep all these people in your thoughts and prayers during this, during the Easter season here. The other thing is, I am going to Salt Lake. I had a kind of like for the trip to Atlanta, I had a great plan for a model build. I didn't get it done. I have been working on it though. Shaky switch to the bench here. And I can't tell how much you can see here, but there's stuff on the bench. We were trying to work on it. It was going to be a Race of Gentlemen diorama, and it's still going to be. It's just not going to be done, but I'm hoping to have it done for the Toledo NNL. At the Toledo NNL, they have well, they have themes, just like the other, Atlanta or NNL New Jersey. One of the themes they do is kind of picked by the group and Tim Boyd, and it's the Race of Gentlemen is the theme. I think there's another term they're using, but the Race of Gentlemen fits right into it. So I'm going to keep working on this, even though it's not going to be coming to Salt Lake City with me. I guess a couple of my old builds will come with me, and hopefully this will debut in the fall instead. And that brings up another topic I wanted to mention, and Chevy Cheeseburger tried to clarify, contests and NNLs and stuff, and I mean, he did a really good job, and Chip, I'm not dissing your explanation or anything. I just thought I wanted to add something to it, if you don't mind. NNL was originally designed. It's funny, I'm jumping all over, I'm sorry, but I'm going to Great Salt Lake City, and NNLs came about because of the Great Salt Lake City contest. When Mark Gustafson, he's the principal behind the Great Salt Lake City contest, when he put the first one on, he expected a whole bunch of modelers to show up, and a lot of them didn't. And so he wrote in Scale Auto Enthusiast, I think it was, or maybe a car modeler, I don't remember. No, I think it was Scale Auto. He complained about the fact that certain nameless national luminaries didn't show up to his contest. So the year after, or later in that year, they in Toledo, as part of the toy show, there was an informal gathering of model builders in somebody's garage, and they basically called themselves the Nameless National Luminaries, or NNL for short. Well, the next year they held a sort of a more organized event, and it grew from there. And so the NNL Nationals in Toledo, which happens usually the first weekend in October, it's meant to be not a contest. And over the years, they've stuck in categories, best junior or best theme or something, but it's not meant as a contest. A contest, there's multiple categories, there's judging and everything else. Unfortunately, over the years, with people adding more and more themes and stuff to NNLs, it's kind of gotten a tad out of hand out of what it was originally supposed to be, which is just a gathering of modelers to get together and talk about model building, model car building specifically, because this is unique to model cars. And NNL is not supposed to be a competitive event. Unfortunately, some people are competitive and they manage to turn it into a competitive event, but the whole idea behind an NNL is you go there, I was going to say throw your stuff on the table, but you put your models on the table, you do some shopping, you come back, if you're near your models and somebody says, "Is that yours? How did you do that?" It's all supposed to be no competition. Unfortunately, in some cases, some people still take it seriously and turn it into a competition, but the difference between an NNL and a contest is a contest has judging of some type. Whether it's model versus model versus model, whether it's a point system or whatever, every model gets judged and whatnot. That's what a contest is. An NNL is just supposed to be a gathering of modelers, like a cruise night at the local Burger King or whatever. So that's the difference. You're not really supposed to be going into an NNL with an attitude of competition. I'm going to win this, or I'm going to win that category, or whatever. It's just supposed to be a loose gathering of people, and that's kind of gotten, the more that all the different, and there's a lot of NNLs now, but the more that they throw more categories or more themes in, unfortunately it's becoming more competitive, and that kind of defeats the purpose. But anyway, that's my 2 cents worth on that. And I hadn't even really planned on talking about that, and we're already at 9 minutes. So there's something else I wanted to talk about And then you won't have to worry about hearing from me for a while, because after this is posted, I'll be going dark for a while. I mean, I might get the odd comment in on videos and stuff, but as far as me producing video, probably be about 3 weeks or maybe even a month, I don't know, before you hear from this blabbermouth again. So I hope you put up with me for a few more minutes. Atomic Dog mentioned in his last Toss the Bones about YouTube and the current situation with advertisers and his concern. And I just thought it's been something that's been on my mind for a while too, and he just happened to get to it before I did. But we're kind of lucky to be here playing around on YouTube, and I know a lot of people were upset when somebody was setting up for subscriptions and all that, and I'm not going there. But I think it's something we have to consider, that with the advent of Netflix and Motor Trend On Demand and Amazon, where you have to pay to watch their TV shows, and somewhere along the line people figured out you make money from the internet. And I mean, I know that's been around for a while, but from people watching stuff on the internet, it used to be all free. We still think of the internet as always being free, but it's increasingly becoming either you pay for this or you don't get to see this. And the thing is, YouTube for Google is a money pit. Like from what I've read, they lose massive amounts of money on YouTube. Like, it's just a money pit. And Brian mentioned, Atomic Dog mentioned, because of some of the controversial people on YouTube, they're losing advertisers now. And the other thing I've noticed quite a bit, and now I don't know how many people out here watching this have ad blockers or stuff like that. I don't. And I've noticed that, it used to be if you clicked on a video and it had an ad, you could, after 5 seconds, skip this ad. Well, increasingly, there's more and more ads I'm running into that are 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and you can't click out of it. You either leave that video and say, bleep you, or you sit through the ad, And I think we're seeing more and more of this, and I think we're going to see more and more of this. Now, when I first came on YouTube, I monetized my videos because I thought that's what you had to do. I didn't realize. So, I started doing it that way. Pardon me. And then what I was running into was, like, if I went to a car show or the Steam show, and you're filming, they had music in the background, they delete the sound out of your whole video because music that you didn't even think of, didn't even realize was there, was on your video. So I got fed up with that, and I never made a cent. Like, I don't know how people made money, because I had a number, and I guess they're still sitting there, of videos that are monetized. I've never made a cent. Not 1 cent. I don't know how. Anyway, doesn't matter. I just quit monetizing because I got tired of having car shows wiped out because of one little bit of music that I happen to walk by. So they don't seem to get you as much for non-monetized videos if that happens. But the fact of the matter is, those of us who don't have that are not making any money for anybody. And you just have to wonder how long YouTube is going to let that keep going like that. I mean, maybe they will. But I don't know anything, what I see happening with ads lasting longer without you being able to opt out or stuff like that, you can just see where it's becoming more and more that way. If they're losing advertisers, and the ones they have, they're going to let them run longer and longer ads, It really makes you wonder how long this is we're going to be able to keep playing in this playground and not have to pay for it somehow. I don't know. Now, I know there's alternatives. I know there's Facebook, but I've had no luck with videos on Facebook. Like when Jan and Drew and they have their live feeds, well, half the time they cut out on me. Like I was watching one night, I started commenting, and then the whole thing seized. I never did get it back. And that's happened to me, like even times when I haven't commented, it's like it's not like the live hangouts on YouTube. And then when I do watch videos on Facebook, half the time the mouth moving and the sound are out of sync. Like, it starts off okay for the first minute or so, and then first thing you know, people's mouths are moving, and then a second later you hear the sound, or vice versa. It's like Facebook has never worked for me for the type of thing we do here on YouTube. So is that, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my MacBook, I don't know, or because I use Safari as a browser, I don't know, but for me, certainly what I've seen is Facebook is not a great alternative. So I don't know. I mean, it's not an immediate crisis or anything like that. But I think we have to, as a community, keep in mind that things are changing that way, and it's not for the cheaper, unfortunately. Let's hope it's a long, long time before we have to deal with it. But I think sooner or later we may have to deal with it, like it or not. Well, I think that's all my blathering for now. As I said, I'm going to kind of go dark here for 3 weeks to a month, just because there's stuff to be done and traveling to be done and different things happening. So it'll probably be a while before you hear from me again, and so you can take a while to watch this video, which is now over 16 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. Colonel Reb, do it to you every time. Anyway, peeps, hope you do have a happy Easter, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.